So, good morning, first of all. One thing. Well, I tidied this place. You can tell it's different than it was. You know, these things, I have an order. That's my journal and schedule link notebook. I read some of this book today in the morning. That was lovely. These are my kind of self-development, self-enrichment, soul enrichment notebooks. My bed is nice. And the clothes, they're just fine. They're where they should be. Hi, me. So, that's gorgeous. And I still haven't done everything. So, for example, this. I have to jot down my finances. But this. And so I'll be like, why are you just showing a bag with musli? Like, girl. But it's funny how the simplest things have this huge impact in our lives sometimes. And this thing, it's as funny as it can sound, this thing has a zillion different meanings depending on who is watching it. You think that everybody just thinks, it's just musli. You probably eat it in the morning, eat it with milk, and that's it. You eat it when you're hungry, it's just a meal, that's it. It's not. Even that simple definition you have about it, it has a different meaning to you and to another person. It has a simple definition about it. And yet, if this is so different in those simple cases, imagine how it is to a person that has these emotions linked to it, and different experiences and different neurological connections connected to it. So I had this thought where, it's just a musli, if you just use it with milk, and I mean, you will have a fruit with it, so it's gonna be just fine. Yeah, it's not. It's not gonna be just fine. Yesterday, in the previous days when I felt my legs hurting, and I'm supposed to be a person that is interested in well-being. I'm not where I come from, my family, my mom, for example, that has this health issues. I'm not that person. So this state of being in, it wasn't even my identity. That my legs hurt, and I knew that my legs hurt, not just because I was standing still for too long. My legs hurt because they're full. This vessels, the veins and the arteries, I'm not sure how it's called, they're filled with fat. That's why. And I'm not just talking about the external fat in the cells, I'm talking about into the cells, into the veins. I knew that blood couldn't flow properly because of all these habits, because it's just one musli. What else? It's just that. Well, it's just killing yourself slowly. It's just ruining your own moments, your own well-being. Is that it's keeping you busy, not just, I tell you, it's not just keeping you busy because of the time, because for me, I'm also eating a little bit slowly, so that it requires some fine amount of time to eat so much in a day. It's not just that. It is all the impact it has to your other activities as well. After I've overconsumed that shit, don't you think that it's the best moment to concentrate? Don't think that it's the best moment to sleep. Don't think it's the best moment to socialize. Don't think any of that shit, because it's just not real. This thing is holding you back. This little thing that you're disillusioned thinking it's so little, it has this impact. So now we see the pain behind it, and I'm grateful for pain. I tell you, I was trying to avoid it because I'm human, but I'm grateful for pain. Instead of trying to not see it, I choose to respect it, because this pain says you something. If you're in this room and you feel painful to be in this room, that says something. That says you shouldn't, you must not be in this room, because you need to go somewhere else. If you feel pain touching this bag, looking at this bag, all the emotions, all the feelings that are connected to this bag, I don't say that this bag is a problem necessarily. Maybe you have to work here. Actually, that's kind of the rule, that you have to work here, not in that bag, because that bag doesn't exist here. What exists is your experience of that bag. So the small things that you will say, they don't really make a difference. Like, you have this thought saying, it's not as important, is it? it's just a bag. It's just a meal. I mean, it has sugar in it because it's musli, it's not really oats. And I know that sugar kills me. I'm not just saying sugar is harmful. I'm saying sugar kills me. I don't know about you, but to me, I've experienced that. Especially since you're prone to being addicted to something that kills you. So I really needed to share this thought. And somebody would say, but you're 30 minutes. You're just recording that instead of doing something else. Well, I'll tell you, this shit has delayed many things for hours, for dozens and hundreds of hours more than this 5 minutes of saying, I choose to see it, and I choose to replace the cycle with one that is serving the beauty. The beauty of that. I'm not just saying this is the evil thing that we need to fight on. We need to I just need to go to the wood and burn that shit because that's the source of evil right there. No, that's where it all comes from. And I don't say burn that either, but I say understand. Understand that this is a cycle of not seeing the beauty. You need to have this instant pleasure right there that seems like it's harmless because you have other things inside you that you haven't worked on yet. Because there are other pieces that you miss to complete the puzzle of understanding the world and making sense of what's the beauty in being here anyway. What's the essence? What's the purpose? What's the joy? What's the thrill? What's the true thrill of being here anyway? You've missed that. You feel you're gonna access it in other ways, like trying to get more interested in your well-being because you know that shit is not good for you. But you feel you cannot do otherwise. Because if you feel that this joy of not needing this to get in this ecstatic euphoria of being alive. You don't need any of this, not alcohol, not cigarettes, not addiction to, I don't know, clothing that makes you. No, if you felt that you could access that without all these triggers that don't really have a true existence here, then you would choose it, but you feel you can't. So, if you think you can, and if you think you cannot, you're right. All this self-development content is like, poo, poo, poo. And I can tell you, I can just read zillions of books, never act on them, but really know them by heart, and just tell them to you. But it will never be powerful. It's only gonna have potential power in there, but it will never be powerful. So to tap into this power, you have to do actions also. You have to look at this, touch this, understand this, be aware. I think that awareness itself is an action, is an initiative, is a move closer. And realize what it really means to you. And listen. Just listen. Just listen. What do you need? What do you really need? You don't need this bag. I bought that yesterday. And it was a little bit hurtful because I wasn't intended to invest in an addiction yesterday, especially in this addiction. But no, I will free it to continue its journey. It's not a treasure here, but I know that it was a valuable experience. And it's an even more valuable action to keep moving. And give this away. If somebody wants it. and proving it's possible starts with one step, starts with one action. So that's my action. Let's go to the next one.